Hello, and you're listening to the Tiny Vet Podcast with me, Dr. Nicole Sue, exotics veterinarian, and my fiance,
comedian Jez Watts. For today's little intro, I have a brief little story. You ever heard of the fairy tale, The Three Little Buns?
No.
Well, the first little bun had a house of hay, and then a wolf came along and said, little bun, let me in or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll tear your house down. And the little bun said, Merp! And so the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. The little bun ran away. Then the second little bun had a house made of tunneling.
Aww.
And the wolf showed up. He said, little bun, let me in or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll tear your house down. The bun said nothing for a while. And then the wolf heard thump. So the wolf huffed and he puffed and he collapsed the tunnels and the buns ran away. Then the third little bun had a house built entirely of mold.
Hey.
And the wolf showed up. He said, little bun, let me in or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll tear your house down. And the bun said, have you considered just finding like a regular salaried job? I know it's not your passion, but it is important that you can pay for your own housing. And so the wolf huffed and he puffed and he inhaled all the mold and then he became a mushroom and the bun ate him, which was her plan all along. And it's why she's been growing so many mushrooms in the house all this time.
Oh,
Isn't that right, little bun?
I'm the third little bun. Yeah, it's a new hobby. It's quite fun, actually. Mycology.
Yes, we've got mushrooms growing inside that you're cultivating and mold coming from outside because our bedroom is moist from the window.
Yes.
And so everywhere I go, there are spores.
Yes. Also, the wolf would have probably gotten nasal aspergillosis from the huffing and puffing of the spores.
Well, is that what I'm developing? Is that what's happening?
No, I don't think humans are as susceptible to it.
Mm.
It's common in dogs, though.
Anyway, do you like my little fairy tale that I wrote?
Yes.
You see, I told you would like it.
Thank you. It's very cute. So one of our rabbits is now tunneling.
Yes.
And she tunnels under her mats, and it's really cute.
Stormy she's very young, got a lot of energy.
She's one. She's essentially one 1-year-old.
Yeah, she's very small, a lot of energy, and big tunnel head.
Yeah, yeah.
Big
so
into tunneling.
We've got these mats over, like rubber matting, and she's been able to lift up the mats and make tunnels out of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it.
And then she dug through the rubber matting and got to the carpet, so I've had to add some more matting and so on.
But yeah, she loves it. We haven't really had any other rabbits who have done this, which is quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've had rabbits that have done a little bit of tunneling and stuff, but like this...
She loves it. That's her thing.
This bun is super into it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's fine. I mean, as I was saying before, I don't think it makes her a bad bunny or anything, like, because you were like, oh, I'm sorry that I'm like, no, it's normal behavior.
They're supposed to tunnel.
It's a matter of just like, we just need to add enough mats underneath.
My God, she can tunnel.
that we don't lose our bond and stuff when we leave, you know.
Yeah. It's quite cute as well, because you're like, where's Stormy? And this lump moves under the mat, like, there's Stormy.
Yeah. You have to find it through like secondary.
Yeah.
You've got to... like, okay, that shifted, therefore the rabbit is here.
Very cute.
Also
very cute, axolotls.
Oh, cool. Yeah, okay.
What do you know about them?
They're fish?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know anything about them. I was pretty sure they were. What are axolotls?
They're amphibians. They're like salamanders.
Oh, all right.
Do you know what a salamander is?
Fish?
No.
A salamander
They're like long frogs.
Breathes fire?
No.
Isn't that mythologically? Isn't a salamander like?
Yes, because in Europe,
and we live in mythology times.
Yes,
right?
because in Europe, the most common is the tiger salamander, which
right.
is black with orangey, reddy stripes.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's probably where that came from.
Yeah. Okay. No, I don't know anything about salamanders either. I'm not a vet. You're the vet. I'm not supposed to know these things. Tell me.
I just thought regular people knew what salamanders were.
Regular people don't know any of your weird vet stuff.
Jesus Christ.
This is why they're listening to the podcast.
All right, they're like long frogs, essentially, with legs. Frogs also have legs, but they're more like regular legs.
Now I don't think you are a vet. Now you know. You sound like you know less about it than I do.
I've never had to describe a salamander to someone who has no idea what a salamander is.
Well, I've never implied a frog doesn't have legs. Because a frog with no legs is a very sad little slimy lump ball.
I just got reminded of Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin has legs.
Franklin is a very fat little frog that I had to see.
Yeah, we already did a shout out to
because
Franklin.
the fat was getting to his eyeballs.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I fixed him. He's fine.
Put him on diet.
Yeah, axolotls, they are a type of neotenic salamander.
What does neotenic mean?
Which means that they never leave their larval stage.
Oh. Okay.
So salamanders, they start as like tadpoles, like frogs.
Is that something that just happened naturally, evolutionarily, or
yes,
just
I'll
humans bred
explain.
it?
No, I'll explain why it's really cool.
Okay.
Why do you love it?
Because I'm wondering if I'll think it's cool or gross. But go on.
All right, we'll find out.
Yeah.
So salamanders reproduce a bit like frogs. So they start as tadpoles.
I don't know how frogs reproduce.
Oh my god.
I'm a person that does person things. Just tell me the animal stuff.
All right, they start as tadpoles. Do you know what tadpoles are?
Tadpoles, I know.
Super. Jesus. And then, you know what gills are?
Yeah, they breathe through water.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the tadpoles have gills, and then over time, they sprout legs.
Right.
And regular salamanders, they start to lose the gills, and they move onto land, onto moist land.
Right.
And then that's their adult
form. Then they breathe
form.
through lungs?
Yes.
Okay.
And they have some respiration through skin as well. Axolotls.
You guys can't see this, but she's looking at me like I'm an absolute idiot now.
I just thought everyone knew this.
I know a lot of different things. I just don't know those things. So, yeah, axolotls, they stay in the water?
They stay in the water.
Keep their gills?
Keep the gills.
Do they have lungs that they could use or no? Sort of ish.
They do something called
Are they like
buccal.
the mud skipper thing where they sort of could survive out for a little bit?
Kind of, yeah, but not really.
See, I remembered something from a podcast. So, that's pretty good.
Did I talk about mud skippers?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. I like mud skippers.
Yes, I know, you said. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so they stay in the larval stage.
Yep, they do sprout legs, but they kind of just stay in larval stage and...
So I guess they don't need the legs, or they swim with them.
Yes.
Ah.
And they live in very still water, still cold water.
Okay.
So they're kind of like floating blobs.
All right.
And they are from Mexico originally, and a lot of their native habitat's been destroyed because it's like underground.
Because it's just this point in human civilization.
Yes, unfortunately.
You said for literally any
it's
animal.
so bad.
Oh, a lot of the native habitat's been destroyed. It's like, yeah, I mean, I would have assumed.
It's so bad. They used to live in these like huge underground lakes underneath Mexico City.
Wow.
Yeah, and the water there is cold and still, and very clean.
Yeah,
not
okay.
anymore. But that's kind of the environment they've evolved to live in.
Yeah, right.
And so in captivity, they're actually very common in captivity. Mm-hmm. They are definitely not endangered as a species.
Like
they're
people
endangered
keep
in the
them as
wild.
pets,
Yeah,
right?
they're really common.
Yeah.
They're quite common here as
Well,
well.
that's the thing. I had certainly heard the word axolotl a bunch, and I had just associated it with like fish and fish tanks.
Oh, yeah, because you have to keep them in tanks.
Well, that's why I thought it was a fish.
You keep lots of things in tanks. Turtles, snails.
Soldiers. It means two things.
Not wrong. That is true. That is not wrong.
Yes. To quote Glenn the other day when I was trying to workshop a joke with him, he went, yeah, that word means two things. Aren't you proud? And I was just like, that's all jokes.
Oh, you're so annoying.
Yes.
Everyone.
We're very annoying. Yes. Go on.
So, cold water,
Yes.
they actually need to be kept between about 15 to 18 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, pretty cold.
Very cold, yeah. And they're incredibly dumb. So, another thing
That's
that...
a common theme amongst pets we're talking about.
The dumb ones are the best.
You love smart birds and stuff as well, right?
I do, but they're a lot of work.
Yeah.
They're just a lot of work, whereas dumb is cute.
Right.
Don't really have the mental capacity to
guess
cause trouble.
Yeah, but literally their needs of engagement are lower and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like easier, I guess, for a busy owner to have a dumb pet.
Yeah. There's something that's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Trying to keep out of trouble.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, they're dumb, and they're so dumb that when you furnish their aquarium,
Right.
you need to make sure that the rocks you put in are, first of all, smooth and also bigger than their heads so they don't eat them. Yep.
They eat rocks.
They eat... Yeah, there is a theory out there that they're supposed to eat some rocks as
it's
ballast.
like part of the digestive... Oh, it's ballast?
Yeah.
Oh.
But also, I have removed a lot of rocks from axolotls
Yes.
where they were definitely not doing well when the rock was there.
How do you remove rocks?
So sometimes, if it's not that far down, you can knock them out and go through the mouth.
Whoa.
Or if it's too far in and you can't get it through the mouth, you have to surgically remove it.
Whoa, you gotta like slice in and remove rocks?
Yeah, they're like, you know how old custard forms that skin? That's what they feel like.
Oh my god.
They're so weird. I love them. And the other cool thing about axolotls, they can regenerate limbs.
That's sick.
Yeah, so you can
Love
just
regenerative stuff.
So if they break a leg or they've got a really bad infection, just cut the leg off. The only thing is you can't suture it, because if you suture it, it heals over and then no new leg grows. You just leave it open and then a new leg will grow. It's amazing.
That's cool.
Right?
This is why I know about axolotls. They were involved in my
probably.
neuroscience thesis.
Yeah.
Like my research. There was regenerative limbs, because I was doing regenerative neuroscience stuff. Yeah, that's why I knew about it.
That's probably their major research
But yeah, because I was looking mainly at zebrafish and axolotl genetics, so I assumed it was all fish.
Wait, so you studied axolotls, but you never actually saw an axolotl?
Well, no, I was focused on the zebrafish stuff. Like that was the sort of the representative species we were using to look at the genetics. But yeah, so I know I had to dissect zebrafish, so I know they're fish. Also, it has fish in the name, so that helps.
You're right. That does help.
I was not a good neuroscientist.
Not wrong. Yep.
It took me a long time to learn the word ventral.
Oh my god! Yeah, it drove me nuts.
I came from a genetics background, so it's like you don't need to look at the animal. You're looking at stats and...
Yes, you do!
Nah. Someone else does that.
Me.
Yeah. I'm working with databases, you know?
Ugh, disgusting. Other cool thing. So one of the theories as to why axolotls are neotenic is due to a lack of iodine in their environment, in their native environment. Now, if you give an axolotl thyroxine, thyroid hormone...
Becomes a person.
Yes. How did you know? It metamorphosizes into what looks like a salamander. Crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that because they don't live very long afterwards, but, like, it's crazy. They just do it.
That's very interesting.
Cool little species.
That is cool.
Yeah, do you want to get one?
No.
2?
This episode
5?
Is over.
18? 32? The Tiny Vet podcast is brought to you by Upilio. Sources for our topics can be found at upilio.io. Outro music by Matt Charleston.